This is the first look at the Reolink video doorbell camera. It is from Reolink, not Ring. This is a newer product from Reolink. They also sell security cameras as well as NVRs, as well as a bunch of other equipment. So this is going to be the video doorbell. Reolink has two different versions of this doorbell. There's one that is a PoE version, as well as one that is a Wi-Fi battery version. The one that we're looking at today is a PoE edition. So box is very plain, nothing very special about it. Again, we're back to pretty much plain boxing. You know, just nothing really crazy. Just shows a picture of the doorbell. Little seal thing, which we're gonna just break right now. And let's take a look at what it looks like. Okay, it says download the Reolink app. You can use the app if you want. Probably should, if you want to know who's at your door. Be prepared, be Reolink. Okay. Marketing. All right, so basically the Reolink camera, the Reolink doorbell. The Reolink doorbell basically is a doorbell that has the doorbell feature itself, and it comes with what Ring used to call it as a chime. So this little thing gets plugged into your wall outlet, and when your doorbell goes off, you will get a chime as well as a notification on your app. So let's put that off to the side. Camera, it's a camera, but it's actually a doorbell. The doorbell itself, very small, it's very sleek. It's about, I don't have a tape measure, but yeah, I'll get actual measurements and put them in the link. So very small, basically cameras on top, doorbells on the bottom, your little motion sensors there as well. And on the back, pretty much you have your Ethernet adapter port right here, which is your PoE adapter port. A little hard to see, there you go, PoE. That's where you plug in your Ethernet adapter. If you want, you can also put a micro SD card in here to record locally if you want. If you don't have an NVR setup, you can actually use it directly off of here for recording. RST, I'm not sure what that is, probably reset, maybe. If you've noticed, it's a very tight and closed housing, so you can actually put this in here, and then you can put this flush against your entryway or your door, whichever you prefer. And it has a little drain hole. Yeah, by the way, there's a default password. The default password always sucks on these things, so be sure to change them. It comes with a little Cat5e cable, which is a joke. Your grounding and for power, for if you want to use a regular doorbell power instead of using a PoE cable. I'm going to use a PoE cable on my own house, so you can use whatever you want. There's mounting hardware. So you got some mounting hardware. I rarely use this stuff. I usually get stuff from Home Depot or something like that that's a little bit better than this. This will hold up, but just not great. They usually fall off eventually with that. Some come with a micro SD card already. Mine did because I pre-ordered. But you may not have this. This may not come with yours. If it doesn't, you can buy these pretty cheap. So you can always do that. More grounding stuff if you want to use that. I'm not going to use any of that stuff because I find that to be really annoying. But there's also some brackets. Gonna have your bracket that's basically an angled bracket. So this one's an angled bracket. This you put on your door if you want to have it, if you want your camera to be positioned a little bit differently on the side so that you can actually see people coming up to the door from a different angle. Some people's doorways require this. Mine is not. Mine, I'm going to have it flat, straight, you know, a straight flat connection directly into the door area because my entranceway is straight on. There's no curvature or there's no like little in cove or anything like that. This is what I would be using, but you could also use, you know, the angled bracket if you want. Right now, this is not an installation video, but just to give you an example, this basically goes on the side like that, and it will sit not flush, but more of an angle. Or you could use this specifically. If you want to have it sit flush, you could just use the regular bracket that comes with this, and you could just screw these in and then this would hang right onto the bracket straight on. That's probably what I'm gonna do. But this is also another option if you need to get something that's a little more angled. If you have like an entrance way that has like a side panel or something like that, where like you really, or a wall where you can't really see, this will allow that to give it a little angle to give you that angle off the wall. This also, I believe, has a knock alarm. In the little pamphlet, you got some operating instructions. You got a template for laying it this way. A template for laying it against the wall so you can know where to mark your screws. That's nice to always have. This explains on warming up tips. Just basically saying upgrade your firmware when you first get it. Quick start guide, which is usually more helpful. Chime wedge mounting plate, wedge mounting hole template. Find one, here's the Wi-Fi version. You'll be able to just mount it any which way you want. Okay, so if you want the video doorbell version Wi-Fi, it does not have a battery. It requires a hardwired 12 to 24 VAC. So it's the regular DC 24 volt doorbell, you know, little wires like this. So it has to use these if you're using Wi-Fi, so you have to have some sort of doorbell that's already there to be able to use this. If you don't have a doorbell that's there, they're not that hard to install as long as you have some sort of power close to wherever you're installing your doorbell. Majority of the time, it's usually your light switch for like porch light or something like that. An electrician can easily install that for you if, you know, it's not that expensive to get it done. Or you could do it yourself if you know what you're doing to wire it up. But with mains power, you should know what you're doing before you attempt that. We'll have a continuation of this video later on with an actual installation, my installation of this doorbell on my actual property. So you'll be able to see this doorbell in action when I go to put it and install it. I'm going to be using PoE because it's the easiest one, because I already have an Ethernet cable at my doorbell location. So I will be able to just plug that straight in and then power it up. I think PoE is a little easier for me because I know networking, but if you know an electrician, probably powering it through, you know, the regular little DC connections is probably your better way to go. I don't recommend Wi-Fi for these things. I recommend them to be hardwired. Even the Wi-Fi unit has a LAN port on the back. I would still recommend a LAN port just because Wi-Fi jamming is possible, and people can Wi-Fi jam your cameras and then cause a real big problem because it may be out while they're doing whatever they're doing to your property. So that's also the reason why they have a micro SD recording option here that will actually have a backup recording there. They would have to rip out the physical device to get to that. Some criminals don't know it's even there, so that will also help. Actual on-site video to install this, and that will follow up. Stay subscribed. If you have any questions, please sound off in the comments below. If you have any questions about Reolink or any of their cameras, we also sell their cameras as well, so you can always give us a question down there and we will try to answer it to our best ability. If you are on social media, you can also join us on, you know, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Well, till the next one, see you and have a great day.